What's up, everybody? Matt Nuzzo, hanging out here, backyard at Real. Today we get to talk about the Ginxu. Look at this bad boy. Got a nice little 4.5 right here, 4.5 Ginxu, 5.0 Ginxu. So the Ginxu is Keith Tabul's creation. He actually came up with ex-pro kiteboarder Elliot LeBeau. That guy was an animal in his day, and he's winging a ton now. He's an amazing videographer. Any of the killer stuff that's coming out of Maui from Jaws or you know, definitely it's got Elliot's footprint on a lot of the footage that's coming out there because he's chasing down some of the best people out there. So he came up with the Ginxu with Keith, and you know, Kai Lenny, Annie Riker, all their top riders are riding these boards. So this is the production Ginxu. Looks so sick with this green finish into the orange pop here. Really nice kind of gloss in some areas, matte in other areas. This is a full sandwich construction, so real durable and you know, really stiff too. The durability is really something that they focus on, and when you add more durability, you are going to add some weight. So to add this step in here, it took a lot more material. He wanted to make sure that they were super solid, and so they are very durable from breakage, but it does add a little bit of extra weight by adding that step. And the whole point of this crazy design here is to make the board thinner where the foil goes. And they thought, hey, let's just chop off the end and make the board thinner here, see if we can get more responsiveness. Because particularly with wing boards, higher volume wing boards, the really thick boards was lending to a very kind of slow rail-to-rail feel, slow rail-to-rail board. So what they did is just literally chopped off the end there by making that step and making that chop section there. What happens is the board feels, where the foil is, feels a lot thinner, and so you get way more control. And we did a video on comparing the drifter versus the Ginxu, and you could really feel riding them back to back that the Ginxu is significantly quicker, initiating turns, more rail to rail. I was saying it might be a little too performance oriented for me, but you're not really, like, anyone can ride these things. The main thing with the wing board specifically is that when you take the volume out of the tail, you do lose some of the stability. So you know, that's something to consider, is that this is gonna be less stable per volume. It's shorter without volume in the tail. You've got all your volume kind of through the middle part of this board here, which you can see, and by adding that volume through the middle, it gets you the total amount of volume, but you do lose some stability by having off the tail. For prone, you know, you could use this for performance, for deep water start winging, smaller riders, or I used it for prone. I used the Armstrong foil all the way forward in the tracks. You could flip the screws and go a little bit further if you wanted to. And I found that this board was really controlled. You know, it does pump well. One thing I did find is that, you know, I wanted to, like, you know, a lot of boards I'm riding my foot up here, I want to have my feet all the way back. And what that lends to is that kind of real surf style feel. So with a little more board out in front of you, you get that really long, controlled, drawn out turns. Very like surfy feel, but you can snap it because you got that thin section in the back here. So it does go rail to rail quick, but with a little more length, it does feel very controlled through the turn. So you get this kind of weird thing where if you stomp on it, you can turn it real quick in the pocket. Or if you want to have a long drawn out turn, you don't like bounce or hobby horse through. Because you are making the board feel a little bit longer, you do lose a little pump because your feet are all the way back here, so the board feels a little longer, therefore you're going to lose a little bit, gain a little more swing weight and a little less pump. So they did do a nice job improving the deck pad on the front here, so this is not as aggressive as the pad in the back. The pad in the back is definitely aggressive, lots of grip, and then the pad in the front's not going to chew up your knees as bad. Again, this is a more intermediate advanced board, so same thing on the fuller thick wing board. You know, intermediate advanced board, you're not going to have, you know, you're not on the deck pad a ton if you're riding this board anyways. So the Ginxus are definitely a great addition to the KT design. You know, they have a lot to show for them, and it's nice to have a really performance oriented board in the KT lineup. The drifter is great, really well suited. If someone wants that next step up, can go to the KT Ginxu, and they're gonna have a really performance-oriented ride. Will be a little less stable, a little more challenging to ride, but it's gonna be that really quick rail-to-rail that you're looking for. So they do come in a pretty big size range. They are all fairly compact in their size, at least their length. Obviously not the thickness, because they got to get the volume in there somehow. And so when you're sizing these up, I do tell people, particularly in the wingboard sizes, to go up a little bit in volume. You know, this 82-liter Ginxu is about as stable as most other 70-liter boards that I've ridden. So, you know, bump up a little in volume for if you want to be kneeling on it and have an easier start. And then the prone boards, just hit your normal volume or sinker that you're looking for. So if you have more questions, give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000, or reach out online, realwatersports.com. You're reaching out right to there. It's right there. Here we go. See you guys on the water for the next session.